Join me in prayer. God, as we share in this message this morning, we ask that you would open our hearts, our minds, our spirits, renew us, inspire us, send us back into the world, new people. May the words of my mouth and the meditation of my heart be pleasing to you, O Lord, our rock and our Redeemer. Amen. Don't you love the Blue Canyon Boys? Holy moly. I always think I'm creating, it says in my Father's house there are many rooms. And so I'm thinking of my room in heaven is going to be bluegrass music, horses. Let's see, it's going to be clean with no boys to mess it up. But I love your music. Thank you so much. Well, I've been thinking a lot about legacy, the word legacy, in the last several months. Maybe it's because I listen to too much country music. There's a lot about legacy and how you live your life. Maybe it's because I'm a newly minted empty nester. And Joel and I are trying to figure out this new rhythm of how we live life without having kids filled with our schedule. Maybe it's because as your new pastor, I got to spend so much time hearing your stories and the narrative of this particular church, 151, right? Are we up to 151 years? And the legacy. Maybe it's because last week was All Saints' Day. And I was reminded of the cloud of witnesses in my life, the ordinary people who do good, who love God, who serve, who believe in justice. Maybe it's because today is Stewardship Sunday, and part of our gifts are a reminder of where we've been as we look forward. Maybe it's because I've been asked to participate in officiating a memorial service on Saturday for a 7-year-old who died of pediatric cancer, brain cancer. And the question is, a 7-year-old in legacy? Eli left a legacy of love, of mercy, of passion for life, of choosing to be brave. I often said Eli was my spiritual teacher and how he chose to live his life in his short 7 years. And so the question for you this morning becomes, what kind of legacy do you want to leave? What really matters to you? That becomes a cliche question. It's a question that's sort of asked over and over, but I want you to ponder that this morning. I want you to just sit with those particular questions. See, Moses, at the end of his life, as they had made their way just 2 miles outside of the promised land, he wanted to make sure his legacy wasn't forgotten. And he becomes sort of sentimental, if you will. It's hard to believe that the book of Deuteronomy is considered sentimental, but it is. And he takes time to leave one last sermon for his people. And so he stops and he says to them, I want you to remember where we have come from, where we have traveled together. And I don't want you to forget. He begins by recounting the legacy that he wants to leave and recounting their movement through the wilderness. And then he reminds them of the law through the 10 Commandments. And then, as you heard Sue read, he gives them the Shema Israel, which is the most important words they could hear. Hear, O Israel, you should love the Lord your God. He is so worried that they're going to forget. to forget where they had been so that they could inform where they were going. And this is what we're talking about today as we are passing on our story of faith from generation to generation to generation. And so part of legacy is simply stopping and celebrating who we have been, who we are, and where we are going. And so I want to pause and invite you this morning to have a spirit of celebration. First of all, it's a miracle we made it post-COVID. Amen? Miracles happen. Secondly, it's a miracle that anybody comes into these doors. The church does not have a great name for itself right now for multitudes of reasons. And so I celebrate that in the midst of hearing about how discouraging it is to be people of faith, in the midst of hearing about decline as people of faith, in the midst of division, that we continue to live out our mission and vision as followers of Jesus, and it doesn't change. That we are committed to keep showing the world what it means to be followers of Jesus, to keep offering hope, to keep spreading love in spite of division, decline, disaffiliation. In spite of, we are leaving a legacy in our community here as a church known as Heart of Longmont. I want you to hear from some community members what being the church means to them. Take a listen.
Good morning. I am Rebecca Shannon with St. Vrain Habitat for Humanity, and I'm here to share how Heart of Longmont has helped Habitat serve the community. You've helped us through financial support by providing volunteers, building connections between human service agencies, giving us space to house out-of-town guests, and letting us speak directly to the congregation about our mission and its real-life impact on families in our community.
Hi, my name is Tim Rockwell. I'm the Executive Director of the In-Between of Longmont. The In-Between provides affordable housing and supportive services for low-income families within the St. Vrain Valley School District area. And recently we joined forces with Heart of Longmont Church in a new collaborative project to build 12 permanently affordable 2- and 3-bedroom apartments for folks within the community that need that kind of support. So this collaborative project between Heart of Longmont Church and the In-Between is going to be named the Wesley Homes. And similar to a project that the In-Between worked in collaboration with the United Church of Christ called the Micah Homes, this too is going to provide opportunity for affordable housing, again, for folks who have limited capacity and need that kind of supportive services and housing. We hope that once completed, the Wesley Homes will house up to 50 people each year, and again, it's much needed in the community due to the severe lack of shortage and inventory of affordable housing. We're certainly appreciative of the generosity that Heart of Longmont Church has demonstrated through this effort, and there are great things to come, but we certainly appreciate and thank you very much, Heart of Longmont.
Hi, I'm Alice Seltenfuss. I'm the Executive Director of Hope Homeless Outreach and lover of the Heart of Longmont volunteers. I would say this is a community of people who walk the talk. They call me regularly every 3 months or so and they say, what do you need? How can we help? So they show up and they are soup angels. They bring hot meals, salads, desserts. They bring a lot, and then they stay and they serve food. And then they have these wonderful personalities where they get to know the names of the clients and they ask like, hey, where's John? Where's Mary? I haven't seen them. They're amazing. When they called and said, what is your biggest need that is small enough for us to do? I said, on New Year's Day, there's nothing open in the city of Longmont, nothing. People do not know where to go if they have no place to go, no family, no roof over their head. So the Heart of Longmont volunteers get together and they make a meal. And it might just be 15 people, or I should say they bring enough for 40, but we may only have 15 people, we may have the 40. But it doesn't matter to them because they're meeting a need in our community of helping people who have nowhere to go.
I love that Alice said soup angels. Our bishop, Bishop Karen, posted her weekly meditation, and in it she talks about angels. And she said, the world is in need of angels. Angels that appear when we least expect and stop us in our tracks. She went on to say, I do believe angels walk among us. They're everywhere. They're in the checkout lines with us at the grocery store. They ride the bus with us. They wave to us as our cars pass us on country roads. They might not have wings, but make no mistake, they are sent from God, and they bear gifts of love and peace. They can help bring healing to broken hearts and hope to a fractured world. There are angels among us today. See, today is a day where I will be inviting you shortly to come forward, those who consider this their church family, to make your pledge for this upcoming year and to put your pledge in our pledge box. And one of the things that we've asked of you is to not only give to our annual budget, but also give to our building, to our capital campaign. It's a lot easier to talk about how meaningful the community is. It's a lot harder to talk about how meaningful the building is. But this building matters. There's heat today, thanks to the trustees and their hard work and our ability to have a new boiler put in for here in the sanctuary. Thank you, trustees. Anyone who is part of that, we appreciate it. There was a book, They Love Jesus But Don't Like the Church. And in it, they asked the question, if your building went away, would it matter? And it would matter. And I want you to take a listen to why.
Hi, my name is Hillary King. I'm the site supervisor for the FUMC location of the Wild Plum Center. And I have had the pleasure of working with the Heart of Longmont over the last 3 years. They do amazing things for our communities. They support our families. They support those in need who come to the church. During the day when we're here, we see plenty of people coming in and out of the church asking for assistance, whether it be with bills or support or resources out in the community to try and better themselves. For us personally here at Wild Plum, they've done things like Chef Hardy, which is a fresh food meal once a month that goes out to our families. They get to enjoy making dinner as a family with all fresh ingredients. They've also supported us around Christmas time, adopting families and providing them with gifts and resources they may not otherwise have. In addition, they've just been great to us with anything that we need. We've had families who have needed washers and dryers that the church has supported us with, clothing drives, school supply drives, you name it, they do it for us. So.
Hello, Heart of Longmont. My name's Zach Bucket. I'm with Troop 64, Scouting BSA out of Longmont, Colorado. We are 100 years old this year, and we have been chartered by this church all 100 years. We have had many different kids go through this troop. We're able to teach them leadership. We're able to teach them trustworthiness, loyalness, friendliness, how to be kind, many of these different things that are in our Scout Oath and our Scout Law. Without the Heart of Longmont, we wouldn't exist. We're able to store these canoes. We have an awesome scout shed, and we know that we have amazing support from your congregation. We appreciate everything that you guys do for us, and we thank you for allowing us to give back to the community.
Hello, my name is Paul and I'm an alcoholic. This meeting has been my home group meeting since 2009, I would say, is what I can just say when I moved to Longmont. And this meeting is a couple of things. It's been around since 1993. We are a birthday meeting, so we celebrate sobriety anniversaries, birthdays. We're also an open meeting, so if somebody's kind of wondering if they're an alcoholic, want to explore what a meeting is about, this is a meeting that welcomes that. So we typically have 10 people, some more, some less. And there's a core group of people, of course, that come to this meeting, and it's definitely something we're grateful for. I don't know where we'd go if we didn't have a place, like this to come to. So it's been a big help, makes a big difference in the community.
Hello, I'm Margie Aguirre Moreno, and I am one of the coordinators for Naucali Mexican Folkloric Dance Troupe.
Hi, I'm Karen Solis, and I am also one of the coordinators for Naucali's group.
Our group has been around for about 23 years with different names, but Naucali has been the name that has stuck for the last 15 years.
Hi, and we are really thankful to the church, Heart of Longmont, for giving us the space that we need to practice. Our group has been growing. Right now we're about 40 kids in our group, and we have a safe place to be, and they feel really comfortable, and it's safe. We're not cold and we're not hot, which is really great for us. We're keeping these kids out of the streets and have them something to do and something to look forward, and getting the parents involved, and also being out there in the community.
Yeah, with our group, we have at least 40. It has been growing. We had some new kids come in and check it out yesterday. And even if it's just the 40, that's 40 kids that we're keeping off the streets and off their iPads and off the computers and phones and all the technology. And this also gives them an opportunity to learn something about Mexican background. And not everyone in our group is Mexican. We do have people from other countries, and they like to learn about other cultures as well.
Did you hear what the Boy Scout said 100 years ago through this church? And it's not news to you that 100 years ago the world was a bit different, right? And yet, our mission remains the same, to put as much of God's love into our world through service, through witness, through prayer, through love. I want to ask you again, what kind of legacy do you want to leave? What kind of life of meaning, of purpose, of life that really is life? Remember, Jesus said, I came that you may have life and have it abundantly. That's what this is about. And so I ask myself for you, what kind of legacy do I want us to leave? I want us here at Heart of Longmont to leave a legacy, one where we invest in relationships, where we invest in showing the love of God through the use of our building, through our outreach, through our worship, and through our lives. We asked people the question over the last few weeks, what do you love about Heart of Longmont? What does Heart of Longmont mean to you? I want you to see some of the answers. So thank you for sharing and leaving a legacy. To keep this church vital, to show this community what it means to be open and affirming and loving. And thank you for being people who embody the gospel.